I'm going to use the vine charcoal start with first. I'm going to see that is some shape for the tree at the front over here and some soft tree in the background. And I'm going to divide this. The top over here would be the sky. The sky is not white, so I'm going to use my finger to blend it together. And let's see, and there's a piece of grass on the ground. I'm going to see. And there's a light shape over here on the left side. And I'm going to have this connect with the darker group of trees over here. And there's also have some grass in the background over here. Let's first put something on the paper first, okay? And then we can make changes after. In the reference, the line going through like this and some soft, I'm gonna probably make the tree a little bit lighter and have a little bit grass in this area too. It looks pretty nice. And let's see. Look at the reference and think about how can you change it. That's the first step. A few trees on the right side over here. Just want the dry tree and coming up like this over here. Okay. And a couple more. Like this. And let's see. I'm going to make this look even darker. Have this group a little bit darker coming down here. And some cross-country skiing. Okay, couple line over here. Put it suggestions. And so have dry trees on the right side. And I have a shape of darker tree over here. Okay. Now I'm going to change it to charcoal pencil. I'm going to add some darker shape. This area a little bit lighter because the light on this side and coming down. Whatever you see now is they're all shapes. So you don't need to think about, that there are trees, but you try to represent trees over here. But it doesn't really matter much in this process. Even they are tree, but they are contribute to the artwork as shapes. Okay. Some darker value over here. And I'm thinking about that. And maybe just have this tree a little bit smaller, like this. And a little shape over here. Mostly I use my finger to blend. But if you want, you can use a blender. The blender basically rolled up with paper. This is a blender. Sometimes I use like this. I'm going to take a look at the background, the line, the angle line. I'm going to have this line and coming a little bit like this way, coming down a little bit, but it's come up again, a little curve, like in this way, coming through. And this grass area, I'm going to see that do I need to expand the shape of the grass or I'm going to have it this, or maybe I'm going to have it bigger. Should I make it bigger? And I maybe move this piece of grass shape and on this side and couple more over here. Those are dark shape. Dark shape, we see them as a positive space. So anyway, this is a fancy term, positive space, negative space. But however, all we're looking for is the darker shape and the light shape, how the shapes interact together. Is there enough light shape or enough dark shapes in artwork at all? Doesn't matter what medium you use. Okay, let's see. So the grass on this side is coming through here and going through on this side, but have a little mulch underneath, a little warmer color underneath over here. So I'm going to use a little eraser to pick up some light value. And this area is a little bit lighter. I have a nitty eraser. If you're not quite sure how to find the drawing materials or painting materials, I have a webpage include most of the materials that I use in my lessons. I have the link in the video descriptions. Just take a look at it, click on it, and you can click on those links of this material. For example, the nitty eraser, and you can learn more about that in the supply store. What I'm going to do, I'm going to make this shape a little bit darker. And maybe have it come out a little bit and use my finger to blend it. What I want to do now, I'm going to shape the dark shape by drawing the light shape around the shape. Okay, here we go. Now create the edge, and I'm going to have there's a little light shape cutting in. So the nitty eraser is supposed to keep stretching it, and also different from the regular pink eraser. It doesn't have any dust come out. It's just everything sucking into this nitty eraser. This is pretty cool. And I'm going to take that So thinking about that, the light shape, dark shape, and how they interact together. The drawing study step is very, very crucial. Okay, now I'm going to draw a little white line, and I'm going to have this direction and coming through like this, coming through over there, and maybe have this a little bit softer, and on this side a little bit lighter, like that. To see how this is going to make you feel a little bit more comfortable. And on this side, form the shape of the grass in the distance. Look at the reference. This is your inspiration. But however, you don't have to do only what the reference telling you. Opening up your feeling, how you feel when you see that. And if it doesn't really make you feel good, find a way to change it. Or maybe picking different part of the reference materials and override the other part. Okay, I'm going to make this a little bit darker, and I'm going to make this a little bit sharper by just erase the part. And maybe make this a little bit softer, like a lost and found effect. And I'm going to have that little light in the background that show through, because the tree is not solid. It actually can see through that. Now let's see. So now we've done the first round, and I'm going to have a little bit soft feeling, a little bit thinner, a soft and thin. Create the contrast to this group of tree. They are a little bit more solid and a little bit darker, a little thicker. Okay, and the top over here, I also create a little bit light, but they remain to be a group. And now I'm gonna add a little more shape, the trunk, those, seeing that of this group of tree. Okay, like that. And I'm gonna add a little bit details in here, but not a lot. And the bottom over here a little bit thicker, and the top a little bit thinner. There's a little tree over here too. and the shape of the grass. Like that. And maybe have a little suggestions of things over here too. Maybe not that much. Just a little bit. Okay, the background, the sky is very much the same color, the same value as is the snow at the front. And I also have a few of those suggestions of grass at the front. A little bit. Okay, this is the first, that's good. And I'm gonna have a little bit, have a little big shape under here too. A little shape over here too. And maybe have a little shadow on here, so it's not totally flat in that. Tone down the value a little bit. Like this. Let's see. So the next step I'm going to do, I'm going to try to crop in to form the composition, and through the crop in, and I'm going to make a little bit more changes. Okay, good. My fingers mostly clean now. So what I want to do, I'm gonna have this at the top over here, and then I having the crop in over here. So I'm gonna see. I'm gonna open my mind, my feeling now. Now I'm gonna see how I'm gonna crop it in. On the left side, I'm gonna crop in a little bit, and the sky, I'm gonna open up a little bit. Let's see how it look like on this side. And I want to open up a little bit on the right side, and maybe on the grass here too. Let me see, on the grass at the front, the snow, I'm gonna have it like this. So this is not exactly in the middle. I'm gonna move that a little more to the right. Maybe like this. Let me take a look. Open up your sense. Maybe on the right side, moving in a little. No, moving up a little bit. I want to have a little bit motion coming through this way. So based on what I seeing now, I'm going to form this shape, making sure they're shaped together, the grass. And let's see. And I hate to see this, the bottom over here almost form like a rectangle. This kind of white shape. So what I want to do, I want to move this a little bit lower. And I'm going to break the shape a little bit and break the white shape. And I have the light shape going through this corner. And let's see. I'm going to also have some shape and coming through, cutting through over here too. And a few shape over there. Let me take a look. And I'm gonna come down this a little bit more. So I don't want to have this like a tighten together. I'm also pay attention to the shape of the sky. And I have a little light shape. Like that as is the cloud. I can pick it up and I'm gonna make it a little bigger. And also have a little bit some gray color cloud going through over here, so it make the shape a little bit more interesting. And let's see, and I kind of looking at this, I kind of connected into one shape, so I'm gonna break this up a little bit, break it up. So you have a little bit more interesting coming over here, and then stop and then continue with a new shape. And I'm also gonna have a little bit more grass at the front over here through the snow, and maybe remove some of this. This is a little bit darker gray tone, and also have some footprint going through over here. I'm thinking about I'm going to use the scratching for this white. I'm going to add a little bit small tiny white shape in here too. Let's see. Is that a little bit too big? I'm going to see. That's probably too close to the edge on this grass shape. I'm going to cut it a little bit. And actually I like this. Okay, and then maybe have this kind of a little bit connected into here. But maybe I'm gonna let this go. Cut a little bit off on this piece of grass. I'm gonna have a little bit middle tone and coming through over here as just the shadow. Now I'm gonna open up a little more at the bottom. Maybe the sky having a little bit higher. That's as high as can go. And maybe at the left side, open up a little bit. Okay. I think this is good. What I'm going to do, I'm going to use my graphite pencil. I'm going to draw this window. So this would be my composition for the painting. There's lots of different contrasts. First, with the light color and dark color, how the light color space and the dark color space work together to create this interesting interaction. The other contrast is thick and thin. And look at some trees, it's very thick. You see that pretty solid. And the other trees and pretty light, very soft. They see lots of background, see through those dry trees. We're gonna bring this interesting contrasts into the final painting. So overall, the shape of the thick trees, they are darker than other areas. Now the drawing study is finished. And next, I'm gonna start working on the watercolor painting. And see you in the next lesson. If you like this video, please give me a support. Give me a thumbs up and please share this video with your friends.